Hello and welcome to another update video about Luna Classic. A lot of people asked me for another update, and I have to tell you very clearly, I think this is now setting up for 4 new lows. We looked at this chart here back already in, I think in June, July, identified a few 1-2 setups here. I think it worked out quite nicely. We reached the resistance up there. Then I forecasted back then a move down, but then it broke support here. We had support here, and it would have been ideal to restart from here, the move to the upside. It hasn't done that, and to be honest, it's now moving in a shape that I don't really like anymore. It has also dropped below the 78.6% fib level here, which would have been the next support. And then I think from the last video, I haven't rewatched it, but we identified here this wave 1 high, and I told you if we drop below that level, this is not bullish anymore. And to be honest, I mean, we need to be extremely careful. I mean, I don't suggest at all that I talk about this in a bullish way. This is, I only analyze Luna Classic, and I want to make that very clear, because a lot of people in the community ask me for it. I'm not suggesting this is a good project or anything. This is purely because the community asks for it. And we've got a channel membership. Few people in the channel membership really like this project, or at least trade it, because arguably it can be quite fun to trade because it is very volatile. But I think with the latest drop and also the drop below this trend line, I cannot keep up a bullish view anymore. It is technically still possible. You could still argue this is a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup, but it has become so unreliable now that I won't trust it anymore until we break above, I would even say, this wave B high, to be honest, which is here at 0.000373. And I'm going to explain to you why. I mean, we had quite a complex structure here of 1-2 setups, which in itself isn't ideal, but to a degree expected if you have such a volatile coin. Now, this has now failed to continue with an impulse to the upside. And we also get now too many 1-2 setups. If this now suddenly starts to rally and breaks above the B wave high, okay, we're back in the game, in the bullish case. Bullish, don't take it too seriously, because we've dropped like 99.999%. Okay, so it's not really bullish, but obviously there's an idea it could restart from here. Now, with the break of the trend line, certainly very, very difficult, especially as it looks like this trend line has been retested from below, more or less, and the retest has been successful. So we dropped down. We couldn't maintain above the trend line. We're making here 3 lower highs, and also we didn't manage. Well, we broke below that wave 1 high. That's not great, and we also are now holding below it. So there's not much more I can tell you here in terms of the bullish case, other than it needs to move up because it has dropped below all significant levels. I mean, if you really want hopium, you could say there's still a chance to rally from here when we find next support probably in this region, which is the 88.7% fib level at 0.000134. From here, this is one more support area. You can see we are basically in this range here between the 78.6% retrace and the 88.7% retrace, but it's certainly not good that we broke below this trend line. Certainly not good. And yes, we can start to rally from here, but the latest move up was only in 3 waves, and we're now coming down too much to create an impulse from here. So at the moment, the bit of hopium that you have is that it could still find support here at the 88.7% fib level. But looking at this chart now from a bearish point of view, that we've dropped below this support area, we didn't turn around here, which was already a warning signal, and now we've dropped below that ascending trend line. We need to listen to those warning signals on those charts. We can't, because I know a lot of people have sort of a bullish view here, but for me, I think this is rather something that might even be, an opportunity for a short now. So let's go to the other chart, which I showed you before. I don't really want to mess around with this chart now, where we have the 1-2 setups on. So there was another chart which was the alternative, which was the idea this could provide. This is just the let's say another view, where we said it could still, as long as it's in this channel here, and that's the log chart view, but we can also look at it without the log chart. But the log chart here provides us with a very nice kind of channel that we could follow, a diagonal pattern basically, where we said, okay, if we do, it's just a different perspective. So where you had on the linear chart 1-2 setups, you can identify this here as a possible diagonal pattern, but it failed to deliver that. As I always say, when you have a diagonal, you need to get 5 waves. Here we didn't get 5 waves, only 3. Very clearly defined 3-wave move up. So I can only see this as an ABC now, and I can label it that way on the linear chart as well. It's just harder to see it. ABC. So yeah, and now I think we are heading for a move down. So 1 to the downside, 2 to the upside, probably still in the wave 3. There will be a 4 and a 5, and that's sort of where we are at the moment, I think. And you can, on the log chart, you can then use also here Fibonacci extensions. Let me just, anybody who wants to short this, I'm not telling you anything to do anything or whatever, but a stop loss above the last swing high would probably be an option. That's just an idea, no financial advice. But if we talk here about target for the 3rd wave down, there's no way I could use the linear chart for that. We're looking at, see, 633, whatever, how many zeros there are. So it would set up for new lows that way, okay, if it follows this count. So it is nothing where I would suggest, this doesn't suggest anything bullish anymore, okay? So I hope that's clear. I could do that here on the linear chart as well. You would just not really see it. I can't use Fibonacci extensions, but it's the same count we have now. Because we could use a 1-2-1-2 setup here, but with the latest dip below the 78.6% retrace and the trend line, I rather think this ABC view is clearer, and we are now heading for new lows. This would be further confirmed. We already broke below this swing high, and if we now break below the last swing low, which is here at so how many zeros do we have? 4 zeros, and then 7, 5, 2, 3 basically, plus minus, it's just too many zeros here. Then I think we're heading for new lows. That would be the last confirmation, but already a break below the last swing low will probably send it down much lower. The movements to the downside here now appear just too impulsive. Yeah, just look at this, very strong. Here also very strong, only a 3-wave move to the upside. Here we also only had 3 waves to the upside. Oh, here A, B, C. So yeah, bear market fire, I would say. And I can only say, be careful. This has shifted from something that was potentially interesting to the upside. Yeah, potentially interesting, but very, very speculative, of course. Very speculative. Into something where I don't really have much hope anymore that it could become something. Yeah, it is now also, yeah, it's all about sentiment, it's all about sentiment. But, these can still fire to the upside out of the blue. But there's nothing reliable I can use for analysis anymore, because it has dropped now below the levels that you could use in a reliable way for a bullish scenario. So we have to go basically with a bearish scenario, and I think with a short one is potentially be more successful now here than with a long trade. Now that's only my opinion, no financial advice. Yeah, absolutely not especially not on a coin like that. Again, I only analyze it due to the requests here of the members and also YouTube viewers. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the message I have to give here. Don't see anything remotely bullish here at the moment in the short term anyway, especially not with that rejection from that that horizontal resistance level here, which is at, let's just add it to the chart. That would also be useful for a stop loss. Yeah, basically here. It's a bit of a range anyway. Where did that? So yeah, it's a bit of a range, but more like sort of here in the 0.000185 sort of range, up and down a little bit, plus minus a few percent. But yeah, that's where we are. Okay, and that's my update about the Luna Classic. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.